Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so we're gonna do some questions of our own, but please prepare your own questions, and we'll make time for that. So think of them right now, and then in like 15 minutes we'll give you a chance to ask your own questions.
Sure.
So it's an honor for you. It's an honor for us to ask you questions. We're big fans. We grew up with your voice since Mario 64. I've been listening to your voice way too much. My first question is, of course, the question: how did you get to be the voice of Mario?
Well, I crashed the audition. I wasn't invited. I was on the beach reading or, playing a game or something. And I got a phone call from a friend. He said, "You've got to go to this audition. It's for a trade show in Las Vegas." And I said, "There's absolutely no way I would ever crash an audition. I'm a professional actor. I can't, what's the address?" And I don't know why, but for some reason I got off the beach and went to this audition. And it's the funniest thing because I honestly, it's the only audition I've ever gone to uninvited. It's the only one before or after, and you'd think I would learn to do this again, because I went in and it was for a real-time animation system, a cartoon system of doing Mario in real time. And I was walking in the door as the producer was walking out the door with the cameraman and the bag, with the camera in the bag. And I said, can I just read for this? And he goes, "Oh, all right. Come on in. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. So make up a voice and make up a video game. You're going to have these things glued to your face, these contacts. So when you talk, this is supposed to make the cartoon character talk. You say, 'Hello, my name is Mario.' And it's supposed to go, 'Hello, my name is Mario.' We have no idea if it's going to work or not. So you start talking, and whenever you stop talking, that's your audition." I'm a little bit of a brat. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if he really means, you just don't stop, or I can talk as long as I want. But I also thought, Italian plumber from Brooklyn, what is that voice like? It's like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me here. I'm working here. Get out of my face, all right?" And I thought, well, I don't want to do that, because what if there are kids in the audience? I want it to be fun and joyful and, full of laughter for people, and I thought, well, I could do an Italian voice that's a little bit nicer. And I had done Taming of the Shrew. I had played Gremio, nice old Italian guy, talk like this, and maybe I'll do that, but I don't know anything about video games. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'll just make things up. And all of a sudden I heard action, and I went, "Hello, I'm a Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I'm gonna get some spaghetti. We're gonna put the spaghetti and the sausage in the pizza. And then I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. And if I catch you with the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza. Then you gotta make a pizza and chase me with the pizza. And then if you catch me with the pizza, we're gonna make spaghetti meatballs. And then run down the hill." And I don't know why, but I just kept going. It was fun. I was having a great time. And I just kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Anybody get in the bathtub? Anybody want to fly down the sink? And I did think, I wonder if he's ever going to say stop. And he didn't. So I just kept going and going and going and going and going for 35 minutes. Until I heard, "Cut! Stop talking, please." That's great. Thank you. We're out of videotape. We'll be in touch, And I thought, well, we'll be in touch. Well, that's the kiss of death for an actor. I'll never hear from them again. But I walked out the door. He got on the phone. He called Nintendo and said, "I found our Mario. I've got him." And mine was the only videotape that he sent up to Nintendo. And that was 23 fantastic years ago. And it's been just an absolute honor and a joy to be doing that ever since. And one day in 1996, I got a phone call. "Mr. Miyamoto would like you to do the voice in a Mario game." And I went, "Woohoo!" And that was, how many years ago? That's 18 years ago. So doing that, it's incredible. My message to everybody is, life is going so fast. Have as much fun as you possibly can. Thank you very much. It's like, but really, have fun. And that's been great. I have so much fun because I do the voices in the game, which is tremendous fun. And then I do some PR and some advertising, and coming out and meeting Mario fans at events like this, you know, in Antwerp. What could be more fantastic? What could be more fun than that? It's like, my favorite thing ever is to meet people who love Mario games, because I do too. Woohoo!
I absolutely love hearing that story. I've heard it 1,000 times before. It keeps, yeah, other interviews. So I guess the next question would be, you do other voices, of course, of other Nintendo characters. So if Nintendo approaches you with a new character, what's your method? What do they give you as input?
You know, it's always been, talk about a joy. They're so tremendously kind and loyal to me, and our friendship is so amazing. You know, I go into a studio and I see, you know, okay, here's this character. Now, he is, you know, he's big and he's like angry and always grumpy. You know, and I'm like, you know, have a rotten day. Yeah, oh, you know, oh yeah, that's it. You know, or I'll go in and one day there's Waluigi, and you know, it's like, hey, all the I'm going all over the place, you know. So we send sound files back to Nintendo in Japan, and they go, oh, like that, do that, you know. And the way I came up with actually the voice of Luigi is, you know, I was doing this real-time animation system everywhere. And so I had these things glued to my face, and I was like, surgical glue and tape and a helmet, and when I would talk, these roller balls would go, and I'd say, hello, I'm a Mario, you know, and then they'd go like, hello, I'm a Mario, and I flew them around the screen, and people would always ask, young people would say, Mario, can I please speak with Luigi? And of course, we didn't have Luigi, we only had Mario, and I'd say, oh, well, you know, I can ask him if he'll come out, but I think he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs, but he's also very shy, so hang on a second. Hey, Luigi! Yeah, what do you want? My friends want you to come out and say hello. Oh no, I'm in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. Besides, I'm too shy. Oh, he says he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs, and besides, he's too shy. You know, and so I would sit there playing, you know, but of course, my mouth would still be moving a little bit, but I'd hold it like this, but it would still move, and every once in a while, a little person would say, Mario, I think your lips move when Luigi's talking. It's just so great, though. You know, there's that element that is so wonderful, the complete suspension of disbelief. That when you see Mario on the TV screen and you've seen him in your video game and you're 9 years old and you say, how come you're on the TV? Aren't you supposed to be in my game? Oh, don't worry. I'll be in your game as soon as you open the system. I'll say, woohoo! That's how you know I'm in the game, you know. Oh, okay. I'll see you when I get home. You know, it's so sweet, you know. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And that's what I always wish for everybody, is that you get to do what you love to do in life, that you follow your heart and find your passions and your dreams, whether it's, you can cosplay for a living or something, but keep doing what you love to do, and the world and the life itself is always supportive of people, of you when you're living your passion, your dream, your heart. Life is like a video game.
I find your story of your Luigi origin story very interesting, because Luigi got his original first video game with Luigi's Mansion, where he's very shy and scared.
Yeah.
So
Mario,
was there any,
get me out of here!
Was there any talk with Nintendo, because actually you voiced Luigi for the first time in your story? Was there any talks with Nintendo that Luigi should be a shy character, or?
Oh sure, you know, I went to we recorded Luigi's voice, I think first in Mario Kart 64, you know, and then in other things. So we had a pretty much honing in the personality type of Luigi, and he's more shy and more timid. But you know, he's also the second son, the second child, and it's like me. And just like my brother is much more Mario-esque than I'm more Luigi in a way, you know, because it's like, I don't want to do that. I'm a little bit more shy. So, as you can tell, I'm shy. Very timid. But I actually was really shy. When I was in college, and I left college because I couldn't get these classes that I wanted with the professor that I wanted from England. And a friend of mine said, come and take an acting class from me. And I said, there's absolutely no way I could ever stand in front of people and talk. He said, no, come on and take an acting class. I said, there's no way I'd ever be able to talk in front of people. He goes, I tell you what, we'll have lunch together in the student-run a restaurant. And I said, food? Okay. Little did I know I was made to be an actor. And I went and the first time I did a monologue, I stood up and my right leg was shaking like this. And I went, oh my gosh, my right leg is shaking. And I was doing this thing, they said, oh, I died a terrible death, and so I put my weight on that leg, and then that leg started shaking like this. I went, oh my gosh, and I put my weight there, and I separated my legs like this, and then they both started shaking like this. And I was like, I was convinced that that's how I sounded. And I finished the monologue, and I went, oh my gosh, I survived. I thought for sure I was going to die. And people went, it's amazing because you're the only person that wasn't, nervous. I what? I thought people were insane. It's like, you didn't see me. I wasn't going, blah, 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 blah. And that was like the beginning of it. Conquering fear. It's just like a video game.
Exactly, yeah. I was always wondering, my favorite game with your voice talent is Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
I love the voice of Luigi is almost central part of the game experience, and I was always wondering how much is improvised and how does a day of recording Luigi's voice, Luigi's Mansion, how did it go? Do you improvise, or is there a script, or?
Well, it's the greatest thing in the world. I fly up to Seattle usually to record a game, and we have a sushi lunch because that's one of my favorite foods in the whole wide world. And and you're so lucky to be in Belgium. The fruits de mer, it's like wow, great food. But anyway, we eat, and then we sometimes we have movies that we watch of animation bits. So I go ho ho ho, or hop hop woohoo, or whatever it is. And so we have a script. And then sometimes we're doing it to the video, and sometimes just laying down the tracks depending on where it is in the development phase. And then we do improvisation, based on sort of like, well, let's try this, let's try that. And it's a great session because the producer and the director and I, are just all, playing. And it's just fun.
Like a video game.
Like a video game. It's just like a video game.
Okay,
But it's real.
There are probably some aspiring voice actors in this
auditorium,
who knows? So I was wondering, who are your childhood heroes?
Mel Blanc is my childhood hero. And Jackie Gleason for some odd, and there was a guy, gosh, I don't even remember his name on the thing, but I was very shy, but I could always make my mother laugh by going, "Hiya, Joe. Hello, Mr. Donnie." And that would make her laugh, and so I would always put on voices and do things to make my mom laugh, So yeah, but Mel Blanc was I think the greatest animation sort of hero for me, because what an incredible man to invent all of the voices that we all hear, and it like Mr. Miyamoto is such an incredible creator, that when you see any video game, it all came from that source to me. I mean, of course, there's so many great creative minds that make video games, but it's like the origin of this side-scrolling game and taking things into 3 dimensions, And one of the things I love about working with Nintendo is it's that it's always about making the next great game. Let's make a great game. Let's make a great game. In fact, Galaxy 2 came about because Super Mario Galaxy 1 was so popular among all the artists and the engineers that they kept doing it. They kept drawing, they kept creating, and Mr. Miyamoto said, well, if we're having this much fun, let's make a second game, and they had never done that before, so there it is, Galaxy 2, which is like top 5 favorite games ever, for me.
It's still very good. It's a very good game.
I know, huh?
But I always compare Nintendo with the Willy Wonka factory. Like it's one big secret and a joyful experience, I think, to be how is it to work with Nintendo, Reggie, and Mr. Miyamoto? Do you see them often?
You know, I don't work directly with Reggie or Mr. Miyamoto because but I work with the creative teams usually in America. One time I went to Japan and we did 5 games recording there, which is really fun. So we record, send the sound files that we like the most, and then we get feedback the next morning. So every day is about a 4-hour session of recording. Yeah, it's great. 4 hours is good. You can concentrate, keep the through line of the character there. So it works out perfectly. Yeah. But there, you know, the thing is, everybody at Nintendo loves video games. There's nobody there that's like, well, I became a member here because I like working. You know, it's like everybody has a passion for games, and that makes a culture that's really exciting. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, ask me anything.
We'll get to the Q&A in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
But I was wondering, am I correct in thinking that you speak fluent French?
Ah oui, je parle français. J'ai vécu en France, à Paris, quand j'étais jeune.
I guess my question would be, what would French Mario sound like?
Ah, c'est moi, Mario. Woohoo! Mamma mia! Y en español también, Luigi, ho ho, hola!
I have a question. What can we expect from you in the future? Is there still something on your to-do list in life that you still want to achieve? Because you're traveling the world, you're making people so happy, and what's next? Or what's something you still want to do in your life?
You know, I have such a great time. I love coming to these shows. I love doing my work. I love taking my vacations. I think just more of it. Life happens so fast, and you go, oh my gosh, I was just 25 years old last week, but then all of a sudden you're 55, and then you're older, and then it's like, wow, it goes fast. So, you know, my thing is to, more laughter, more life, more love. Yeah, that's what I like.
Okay, and with that, I guess we can start taking questions from the audience.
Go ahead, ask me anything.
Or you can shout it, or you can come forward, and I'll try to get the microphone to you, or shout.
Sure, go ahead, do it in the back, man.
Did you ever see the Super Mario Brothers film?
Did I ever see the Super Mario Brothers film? Did they make a Super Mario Brothers film?
I think people want to get that.
No, I'll watch for it in the theaters. Go ahead, ask me anything. Go ahead.
You make both video games with one unique character. Mario is the unique character.
No, I do in the video games.
Yeah.
Do I do?
Mario Galaxy, for instance.
Yeah.
Really good Super Mario. Well, compared to that game like the upcoming Super Smash Bros.
Are you hearing it?
No.
I'm not quite hearing you. I'm sorry. Come forward this way. Oh, look, he's got a Nintendo jacket on. Oh, that's a great jacket. Oh, okay.
Compared to titles like Super Mario Galaxy, how is working on a title like the upcoming Smash Brothers title?
You know, every single time I do any Mario game or any game, I have so much fun. You know, for Mario like Galaxy, what happens for me is I go and I record the thing, record. I watch these little videos, and then I go to the like E3, and I see the preview of the game, and I play the preview of the game. And it's like with Galaxy, I had like goosebumps. I was like, oh my gosh, Pierre de Poil? Is that what it's called? Yeah. You know, it's like, oh my gosh. And when I saw Super Mario Bros. Wii, it's like, I laugh, you know? So, and every game, what we do is we have a 4-hour block session work for each character. So I'll do 4 hours Mario, or 1 or 2 days, and then 4-hour Luigi day, and then a 4-hour, and we end with Wario because that's the hardest one on the throat, you know. But every single game is, to me, such a joy.
How many voices do you do for Smash Brothers?
Well, you know, you have to see the game to find that out.
Do you get paid more?
Hmm?
Do you get paid more for more characters?
Do I get paid more for more characters? I've never thought about that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Why do I have such a great time, though? Thanks for your question. That's very nice. I like it. That's a great. Nice color. I like red.
Mario is the biggest gaming icon in the world. If you look at other gaming icons, they're either very muscular, strong man, or very beautiful woman. But Mario is a small fat guy. How do you think he got to that part? Even though he's like completely different from the rest.
You know, I think it's interesting. It's like, why is Mario Mario? Why is it? You know, I think that like William Shakespeare creates the everyman that everyone can relate to. You know, no matter who the character is. I think it's a great thing that we can all relate to the idea of, you know, there's this plumber or race car driver or Dr. Mike who falls in love with a princess and spends his life devoted to rescuing her and falling in love and faces adversity with a let's go instead of like, oh, no, you know. So the heroic characteristics of that character and the sense of joy and fun are in the very, very first video game and the very most recent one. That there's a wonderful through line of the character. I mean, this is actor speak, you know what I mean? But to me, it's also, again, it's the passion for making great games and the sense of fun and the playfulness and joy of every situation that makes for, you know, it just makes for a great adventure. And I think that, like the Zelda games, you know, that there's just something about Link and something about the characters and the adventures in the world that always, and I think it's a brilliant part of Nintendo, they always have the integrity to stay with, you know, the making of the great game and the making of the great adventure. So, I mean, it's amazing. It's been 33 years for Mario. Incredible. I feel, again, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Yeah.
So you just talked about Legend of Zelda franchise. What if Nintendo would like to add a voice to a character as Link? Would you like to do it?
Well, sure. I'm the sort of like guy that says, "Let me play all the parts." Of course, I would love to do it. You know, anytime. And you never know. I go in the studio, and I never know. Like when I walked in to do Mario Sunshine, and they said, "Well, do this." You know, I said, oh, "Welcome to the Isle Delfino." You know, and you know, and the thing is, it's weird because I forget that I even do the voices until I play the game. I go, "Oh yeah," you know, and sometimes I can forget. But then once I hear it, I go, "Oh, that was from this take that we did," and somehow, you know, I remember exactly what it was, even though I forgot I did it. So I don't know. Sure.
How good of a gamer are you? Did you collect all 120 stars?
How good of a gamer am I? Oh boy, wait. I bumped my head. I'm not very good, you know? I can get through the first few levels, and you know, I was actually in an interview once, and it was a live radio show, and they said, "All right, let's see if you can play Galaxy for real. If you really," he said, "Do you play the games?" "Yes, I do." "Well, we're live, so we're gonna play the game right now." And I'm like, ah! You know, but I went through the whole level, and I was like, woohoo! Then nobody believed it, but I do. I love the games. I have a great time. It's just I'm not very good. One of my niece's boyfriend, he can get through. Both of them can get through every game within like the 48 hours sort of window. So I watch them play, so I get to know what happens. Because I'll never rescue the princess. But I like to try. She's in another castle. Every time she's in another castle, you know? And I never make it to the one that she's in. Yeah, but I love to watch it. It's so incredible, you know? It's like when Bowser becomes giant and blowing the flames out, and you know, Mario has to do this, that, and the other thing. It's amazing how challenging it is. You know, how it's a great thing that anybody can play. Hey, no. You know, but by the time you get to that point, there aren't that many people that can get all the way through and get all the stars. Well, you know, it's practice. Yes. Who has another question for me? Yes.
You are mostly well known of doing Nintendo character voices, but in the recent game Skyrim, I heard you do the voice of Dragon Podcast.
Yeah. What brings you to the throat of the world? Woohoo!
So my question was, are there more plans for doing non-Nintendo character voices?
Well, you know, it's like I have such a great life, and I have so much fun doing what I do with Nintendo. And I don't have like a lot of time. Like I don't have the time to do film things or television things. I occasionally audition for them, but I'm never available when they're doing it because I'm always flying around doing other things. And I'm very happy with that. But if an opportunity comes up, I would love to do another game. I'm the sort of person that when someone says, "Hey, do you want to come here and do something?" I'll go, "Hee hee, okay, let's go." I can't wait, and I don't even know what it is. But it's fun. It's like being an actor is like somebody says, "Come and play in our sandbox and bring your toys." And it's like, okay, that's my life. So it's just fun. So yes, I'd be happy to. Yeah.
How did your career as a voice actor start?
How did I start as a voiceover actor?
What kind of training did you have?
Do you know, I trained in the Drama Studio of London in England to be an actor, and we were doing singing and voiceover and all kinds of different things. And I went back to America. I was doing theater, and then I stopped doing theater, and I started doing, I stumble into everything. I always say, create conscious choice, but I'm the type of person that falls into everything I ever do. So I stopped doing the theater, and someone said, you should come and audition for this corporate video. And I said, what's a corporate video? He goes, well, it's a video and it's corporate, so you come and do that. I said, oh, okay. So, I said, what kind of acting is it? It's just like acting. Oh, okay, I got it. So I went, and I got that, and I got like the first 10 I auditioned for. And so then I was a corporate video actor. And then I was doing a commercial where I was, American Gothic, the painting where the farmer's standing there with the pitchfork and his wife is there, they're dull as posts, and I was doing that, and I so we did that, and it takes you like 9 hours of lighting, so you're still standing there, and so we finished that, and the director said, that was great. Do you do voiceover? And I said, sure. What's a voiceover? He said, well, you just read the script, and I said, Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price right now. He said, great, here's more money. So I said, I'm a voiceover actor. How about that? So my life has been stumbling from one thing to the next, but always with the goal of being happy. Always with the goal of really enjoying the process and the life. And so that's, to me, it's the greatest thing because it's exactly what I got what I wanted for. Got what I wanted. What's that? That's a card game called Crazy Eights, I think, where you say, got what I wanted. Got any fours? Yes, here's fours. Got what I wanted. So that's what it's been for me. It's like the joy of the entire process of life has been great. And it's a tremendous gift to do what you love in life and to be paid for it and to be recognized for it is a tremendous honor. What could be more fulfilling and joyful than that? So is there more that I want in life? Yeah, love would be great, to fall in love, but just to continue doing what I love to do is such a great thing. So that's what I have to say about that. Who else wants to ask a question? The princess. What is mine? Which Mario game do I like the most? My favorite Mario game. Ooh, that's that's so tough because what happens for me is every time I see the game, like Galaxy became my favorite game in the whole wide world the second I saw it, and then as soon as I saw Super Mario Bros. Wii, I'm like, this is the greatest game ever, and more recently, I'm like, oh gosh, this is the most brilliant game ever. I love Super Mario 3D World. It's so much fun, and that was really doubly fun too because they said cat power up. I'm like, well, that's going to be fun. I wonder if it's going to be meow meow. That's what I'm thinking. We get to the studio and it's like, it's like really full on. So it was like a great. That was a great fun process of doing that one. Everyone. Yeah. Who else has a question? Señorita.
Do you do the French voice in Working Hard too?
Do I do the French voice in? Oh, the Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. So far I haven't been invited, but if they ask me to do something, I probably will go, well, okay. But we'll see, that would be fun. Mario did give Bowser acting lessons for Wreck-It Ralph once, and some good feedback. Of course, you always give Bowser good feedback, or else, right? Sure, ask me something else, anybody. Do we have more time? We have more time.
Maybe a last question.
A last question. Yeah.
Did you ever, when you started out with the Mario games, did you ever think that this franchise would take it so far?
Oh, when I did my first Mario game, did I ever think the franchise would go this far? I didn't even know who Mario was until I, started doing the character. And then when we did, the 3D, because then what happened for me is I got my first, my SNES in the mail, and so if you're gonna do this, you might as well see the character. I said, that's okay. And I'm playing, and I started playing, and I did Duck Hunt too. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm still playing Duck Hunt. I put it down. Go to bed. I close my eyes and I hear quack, 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 quack in my dreams. And the same thing, I was playing Mario, and it's like, back in those days, the old school thing, you had to figure out the buttons to make him jump a certain, and if you didn't get you died, you had to go back to the beginning of the game, because that was before the memory stick that came out, in the GameCube. And so I kept going and getting to the same point and dying. And the good thing is that dying. Yeah, it's like you called up in those days and you said, how do you get past this point to a game counselor? And that's what I ended up doing. But again, it was like till 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Go to bed. The sunlight is starting to come in the window. Go to bed. And I went to bed, and then I couldn't sleep until I got on the phone. I said, how do I get it? I'm the guy that does this, the voice of Mario, but how do I get this? How do I get that? I said, oh, well, you put the A/B button together, and you put, I was so happy. I forgot what you asked me, but I thought I'd just keep rambling. That was my first Mario game experience, but it was a lot of fun. It's always been so much fun, and that's my wish for everybody, is that you guys, thank you so much for playing the games, but also thank you so much for enjoying them, and thank you for being here. Because of you, people like me get to do what we do, and love to do, and we get to come to fun places like Antwerp, and in Belgium, and it's a great honor and a great joy for me. So thank you all very much.
And thank you for coming to visit us.
My pleasure. Here we go!